Hello and welcome back, everybody. Bear of Carthage here, and yes, we are back in the Sled campaign for Tsarina Katarin. I know, I didn't make you all an April Fool's Day video where I either claimed that I was changing the channel to Heir of Rome and that I hated Hannibal, or that I was going to retire suddenly and unexpectedly. So sorry to disappoint in that regard, but it is, well, it's technically still April Fool's Day while I'm filming this. It won't be when you all are watching it, but the good news is that I'm a fool every day, regardless of April 1st. And so whenever you're watching a campaign with me, basically everyone is an April Fool video. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about having been cheated. So just wanted to make sure you all remembered that in case you did feel like that you were missing out on something. Oh, we can get another Ataman. I want to look where we can have the biggest impacts on income. And Southern Oblast is looking pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to do Southern Oblast because we got pretty good income there. Now, you can also use these to help calm down certain areas to a degree, so there'd be benefits in that regard. But definitely think we want to go ahead with Southern Oblast. So there we go. Oh, I didn't even look to see which guy I put in. I put in one for growth, which stinks because I meant to put in one for income. Can we, like, cancel that? No. No, we cannot, because well, see, what did I say about April Fool? It didn't take long, did it? So, there you go. I know myself better than I know myself, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, unless you think about it, and then it makes less sense. But let's keep going before you all start thinking I have dementia and calling on a truck to come pick me up and carry me off to the old man's asylum. We've got some skill points here for Tsarina Katarin. Shield of Ice. That is a pretty sweet ward save. We got to spend 4 points in here first. So maybe we should go ahead and spend the 4 points. And we'll get the Shield of Ice, and then we'll do some more magic for Tsarina Katarin because we do want to get the Arcane Conduit fired up. Let's see what else we got in here. Cleansing Corruption, Conviction. I mean, Devastating Charge is pretty good. Cleanse Corruption can be kind of helpful whenever we're bashing our way through, like, Chaos Provinces and stuff. I don't know that there's, like, a really important one, like, more important than the other here. And we can continue to do some improvements to our Golden Knight here. Unit experience gain for Zarguard and Ice Guard. I mean, that would be good, but I'm guessing, yeah, we're pretty much all the way up to top chevronage, so that doesn't really need to be a priority for me. This one gives armor and stuff to Zarguard. Stand your ground. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put these skills into this tree. Yeah, there we go. All right, so got that figured out. We've got a little bit of cash. The Griffin Wood can be built up. Ooh, it's expensive too, so probably want to start that one up. Then we'll want to get this one for some more control. So we'll spend that money on the Griffin Wood. We are waiting on Boris to pick up his 2 more Elemental Bears, which would give him 3 in total, which would be cool. He will definitely have a very thematic bear army going on. I can't do the full thematic Mother of Stanky one, I guess, unless there's a mod that I can get that would allow me to recruit those Ungol units in this campaign. But unfortunately, we can't do, like, all the spiders and nonsense like that. Looks like Nakari's here, and he's got a pretty good-sized garrison. Do we think we can take him? I do. I think we could do this. What is this? Melee specials. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and start laying in a siege. And we'll continue the siege and just kind of trap them there and see if we can start forcing attrition. We'll stop them from being able to recruit new units. I'm going to start rebuilding here once the money becomes available. Bear Pit has a commandment available. We're tearing down several structures there so we can build stuff that we would rather have in its place. We can go with control, income from buildings. Income would be kind of cool because we're going to have the exotic animal thing. Let's remind myself what that building looks like for Kislev. So where's the, oh yeah, right here. It does generate income. It also gives 45 cages of exotic animals, so, I mean, we could do the income from all buildings. It'd just be a minor bit. The local recruitment capacity would be good if we were going to recruit there a lot. Honestly, though, with all the plagues and stuff going around, this one might just be the one that makes the most sense for now. Let's forget the damaged buildings. Let's end our turn. So we're in control of Bear Pit. There are still Norskins aplenty, though it does look like they might have gotten a butt kicking from Kastalden there. So that's pretty handy. But we need to take the fight to the Norskins. I'm just trying to kind of clean up the northern areas here by ridding ourselves of the Skaven, and then we can really focus in, I think, better. All right, Nakari is going to come out and fight us, and I'm not shocked. I think we can win this. I mean, maybe I'll be wrong, but let's go try it. The battle's getting underway quickly. I used my bear bait, of course. I would have liked to have had Nakari come follow me in here. But any units I can lure in early is going to be beneficial to me. I'm going to turn my... Patriarch around to get ready to intercept this exalted hero of Khorne. Oh, wow. That cultist took a big chunk out of us early. We probably don't want to stick in that fight for very long, because he is really dishing out the damage. He's got a bonus versus large. I didn't realize that initially, so I'm going to pull away from that. Here comes Nakari. Let's give Nakari everything we got in terms of missiles. And drag him down in a hurry. I don't have a... Well, I do have a slowing spell, but we don't need it. Nakari is preeminently weak against... missiles, so that was not an issue for us. Let's go over here and clear up our flank. Here comes the Manticore. Oof, our Zargard are gonna get attacked pretty hard over here. I need to pick more targets and start to kind of work them down. I think I'm gonna do some targeting over here. We did scare off the Manticore, at least temporarily. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got a problem on this other flank. We're starting to kind of get overrun. And I need a good debuff here. Then I'm going to do a little more debuffing over here. And let's bring our heroes over here. We're getting a little bit overrun on this flank, more so than I would like. And I need to move our Akshina back a little bit, actually, to give them a chance. Like, we're just getting absolutely swarmed right now. It's kind of our problem. Let's get another heal fired up over here. See if we can slow this down, because we are under a significant attack right now, like a significant attack. Sibilant Slaughtercade, there's Manticores all over the place. I brought a whole nother Zargard with great weapons over. Missile block chance and armor. I'm trying to help kind of cut down some of these units over here. We are in the thick of it. Our sleds are getting run down. We really need to keep them moving. All right, our spell over here did cause some fear, and we started to get some cracks in the enemy lines, though they have an aspiring champion there, which is really unfortunate for me. Let's take these sleds. Some of my sleds got a little bit chewed up in there. I let them stick around too long. Our main line, though, is just slowly collapsing just under the sheer weight. And I am low on magic. There's a lot of unbreakable units up in here. One. Pop that again. Get another heal going over there so we can keep our leaders I'm gonna send the sleds over there to help our leaders. Our Akshina are gonna have to just hold their own for a minute. As long as my leaders don't buy the farm here, should be okay. And I'm gonna swing these sleds around. I expected this to be a fairly intense fight, and it was. It lived up to expectations. Let's do a quick run in here against these Chaos Warriors. There's a cultist of Slaanesh in here that's keeping the leadership alive. We're out of heals, so we gotta make it count here. I got a real good charge into all those Chaos Warriors. And the enemy leadership is starting to falter at this point. Unfortunately, I took a ton of damage here, and it's gonna cost me. In the sense that my army is not gonna be able to just waltz on through this settlement without taking fairly egregious losses, but at the same time, I think we have managed to do a good job just by winning here, and we can always fall back and replenish and just come and attack them again later. This army doesn't have a ton of, I mean, it's got good infantry, but we got hit by a tough attack there, like a big attack. So it's not totally surprising that we took a lot of damage there early on. I'm gonna take Sled and some of these other units out here, and I'm gonna chase some of these routing units. If I do kill these enough and then take the replenishment, it is possible. I wonder if I can go get some of these halberds. I'm gonna move that way and see if we can shoot up those halberds a little. Why are you guys going so slow? It's like my bears are stuck together over there, and I can't even explain what's going on. It's so weird. Good. A little bit of heal going on there. Okay, we got rid of those trolls. You all are close enough now. Put some shots into that halberd unit on the way out the door. And let's just go ahead and come up here and start killing off some more of these routing units. So anyway, like I said, I will see you all back on the campaign map. All right, I was kind of curious. I was looking at the value here. No surprise, we got a lot of value out of Mother Ostankya. Not so much out of our other two heroes. But, I mean, really a solid performance out of the Zargard, even though they were up against a lot of monsters and other things. And honestly, a really good performance out of my Cassars with great weapons, armored Cassars, great weapons. They had a really good performance out of most all of the units here. They did well. As far as army replenishment, I am going to take the replenishment. If any reinforcements show up for them, I will be utterly doomed because of how weak I've left my army. But if they don't get reinforcements, that should, force them into attrition right away. And then we left their garrison, of course, extremely weak. But I would imagine any auto-resolve, yeah, they're going to kill off like a bunch of my units, and it's going to take me many turns to replenish, which is frustrating. But I don't want to have to redo this whole thing, so we'll go ahead and try and re-recruit those units. It's as frustrating as it is. Let's see. I might rebalance things a little bit here. Let's take a look at our army here and think what would be most useful. Okay, so I lost multiple infantry units there. We got to go into global recruitment because that's our only option. We could just kind of more heavily weigh this army into the Zargard great weapons. There's also the standard Zargard, which are just much more defensive, like they've got way better melee defense. We could mix in some Streltsy to give some added firepower up front, but we already are pretty firepower heavy with the Akshina ambushers, and I feel like that would be a little bit of redundancy here. It would be nice to have some power to kind of block those the big critters coming after us. So I wonder if I put a couple of bear riders, for instance. So do I put a Zargard and then maybe a couple of bear riders, and then as our infantry gets hit by the monsters, we can throw in the bear riders to help deal with the monsters, and then our infantry should be able to hold out against enemy infantry. and Akshina are okay, you know, in melee when they have to be. They're not amazing, but if they can wear down an enemy first, they'll do a lot of damage. Plus, we have the sleds to help out with that as well. So I guess we're going to be stuck in this settlement for a few turns while we do that additional recruiting. And let's take a look at the magic here. We got Cursed Cauldron, the Malediction of Madness as well, which is a really nice debuff that I want to get. I want Earthing. Let's go ahead and grab Cursed Cauldron. So we've unlocked all the spells. Now we would just have to unlock their Overcast, I believe.
Is its endurance.
And let's see, because the Overcast allows us to do like a buff to our own army versus the regular cast is a hex on the enemy army. Let's finish up another point on Hawks of Miska.
Bring the best.
And then we could use more hit points on this character. And what do we got here? Deathfrost. Heart of Winter would be a good one to clear out those infantry blobs, but that's assuming that we get enough Winds of Magic, which Winds of Magic may be hard to come by in some of those battles. As you all saw there, we just did not have favorable winds. Let's do... what else would I want to put here? I've got the income. Growth, we're not going to have to wait a terribly long time, so I'm not sure if a growth building even is that necessary. I always love being able to get a hold of some Ice Guard. And sleds, probably, so start putting in the building for the Ice Guard there. Get Bear Pit built up. Someone mentioned that Kislev had other buildings, and that is correct. I forgot that there's other buildings here. We got the Boca Palace, which of course unlocks the recruitment, and we did the Boca Palace. This other one gives extra control and income from the buildings in this province, which is kind of nice. This one produces furs and growth, which that would be really handy because it is a lot of extra furs, and it reduces the upkeep for elemental bears and and bear riders. This one, the Imperial Embassy, I just don't see a lot of purpose to it because I don't even think we need it at this point. But this other building right here could be a really good one, and we no longer need the growth, and the recruitment cost deduction is cool, but it's just not that important here. So I'm going to go ahead and tear that building down because we just don't need it anymore, and I'll replace it with this other one. Now, some people could argue you don't need this building here, and that is true, and I may decide to tear that one down. But let's go ahead and build these others, and then we'll get the other Kislev unique building there. In fact, I'll save some money. It is 2 turns until Boris gets his big bears. And let's just kind of take a quick look at things with Kastalton. He's got a little bit of a fight on his hands, but he has another army back here. He looks like he can hold his own still for a while longer. Wintertooth is definitely brooding on our flank here, and will certainly be a problem. Bear Pit, though, is going to need... It's going to need a few turns before it can really self-sustain. Volksgrad is not going to self-sustain right now. Prague, it can kind of hold its own. I said I was going to save my money, but I might actually go ahead and start building that improvement to Prague where we can have better defenses soon. I might just stay there one more turn with Tsarina Katarin, even though it's a little bit of a waste. Let's go ahead. We've got an Ataman thing here. Favors infantry, favors cavalry. I don't really know. I don't use a lot of cavalry in this one anyway. Garrison Lord not moved. Skip the upgrades. Skip the damaged buildings. All right, gonna end another turn here. All right, so we were actually attacked by Clan Mulder at Volksgrad, which means that they did have another settlement over at Plesk, and I'm not surprised because I could see the Skaven corruption that was building over there. I'm gonna take... This is gonna be interesting. I don't want to leave Bear Pit open to be retaken easily because it is still in a fairly easy state to retake. But I might go ahead and move Tsarina Katarin hidden a little ways just to see whether our enemies decide to push us in a little bit more. Boris's army is going to be fully ready to go here very shortly. This Beastman army is a pain in the butt, and I wish that I could take it out right now, but I cannot, unfortunately. My money was intended for the special building here, which is going to give us a ton of extra furs to trade. Mother Ostankia is 3 turns away from having her army reestablished. Karak Doom. Let's put in some defenses. Growth and control. start to try and get a foothold there. We don't have much of a foothold in these other ones. We can certainly afford another army at this point as well. And it might be good to train one at Kislev where I have access to a lot of really good local recruiting. And in fact, we could switch Kislev over to this relief columns. I think right now it's just on the growth control. Yeah, let's switch over to the relief columns. And I will start to put together another army there. And I may need you all to remind me of some of the names that we had out there because it's been quite a few episodes. So I know we had some good names picked out, but like I said, I may not remember them all just right off of hand. Go ahead and do a little bit of building right there. Okay, we've got a lot of money that needs to be spent. We've got armies that are replenishing. Let's end our turn and see what happens here. The Skaven that hit Volksgrad may go out looking for more, though they may hold on there. We'll see. That also kind of... I'm curious to see. Wintertooth has some armies headed my way. They may send more. Like, they may try and go for Bear Pit because it's going to look relatively undefended. I can see some Skaven troops moving about, though they look weak. Somewhere their larger army is still lurking. But with Boris now ready to roll, it's going to be serious trouble for our enemies here in the north. Lewin wants a trade agreement. I welcome that. We're sitting at a good strength rank, and with another army, we may very well bounce up closer to 1. Okay, we are ready to march. I am going to hide Boris right here. See if we can lure some enemies in there. And then I'm going to take Tsarina Katarin. I'm going to actually leave her visible. It's kind of intentional, and I'm going to march back this other direction to go hit Wintertooth. Make it look like we're leaving ourselves vulnerable over here. At least that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Like, hoping the way that the enemy takes it, at least. And let's take a look here. Prague, we can get more income. We can get more trade. What all do we got here? That one reduces the upkeep of Griffin legions. And reduces attrition faction-wide, extra leadership against chaos faction-wide. That is a pretty cool building. This one gives us some interesting recruitment. And then reduces global recruitment duration and gives extra global recruitment capacity. So this building chain is a must, in my opinion. This one is just like a better church building, I think. Let's build this one. And then we have to save, and I know we're not going to actually probably recruit the Griffin Legion, but it does give us a garrison of them, which would be useful. So let's save our cash for that one. And then we got the Southern Oblast here. Fiscally prudent income from all buildings. Well, there we go. I didn't pick the income boost, but now we got an income boost. So April Fool, Airs a Fool Day. Slightly lessened by the gracious gift from the AI there. Ooh, hang on. Handmaiden of the Ice Queen. Cooldown to spells. That just makes her stronger, which that is kind of handy. Scholar gives the research rate. Magistrate. Eagle Eye. Let's go... I don't think that... the cooldown's kind of nice, but let's go with Champion. Might as well make our character a little stronger. We ended up in a big fight. That even necessitated our caster to be fighting there, so I'm going to save a little cash for that building in the next one. It says we have an outpost available, but I'm going to skip through that for the moment. We actually have need of way more money than I can even pull to bear, and I'm getting a ton of money right now, but we could use a whole lot more still with all the things that we could build. That's no big surprise. Again, we could also fill out another army at the moment, which I would like to. I want to do a Streltsy army. And so I'm kind of thinking like a Streltsy Ice Guard army with some Griffin Legion maybe would be fun. Griffin Legion's not great, but we can probably make it work. And just kind of make it fun here. Look at this. A single Skaven. Does he have Warp Lightning? No, Pestilent Breath. And yeah, well, let's assassinate this guy. Why not? Folks, before the battle gets started, I think I just need to show you. I have set up the world's most gruesome bear mauling. And I've saved it for old Pescalich the Vomitist here, so let's give him the worst mauling that the old world has ever known. And I know Skaven love the Skitterflea, but there is just not enough Skitterflea in the world to save a rat from this level of bear mauling. In fact, you know, they tell you whenever you're walking on the trail, you know, keep your bear spray with you. You know, make yourself loud. Don't surprise the bears. I don't know that any of that's really going to help whenever it comes to this situation. I mean, you'd have to have one heck of a can of bear spray to hope for any kind of help here. But I don't know. You all tell me. I mean, I can't even find him anymore. He's somewhere underneath this pile of, there he is, of gigantic bears. They're just getting plowed around absolutely everywhere. I wonder if he's even taking any damage. Yeah, he's taking some damage. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this bear mauling, but hopefully you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all back on the campaign map. That was one heck of a mauling. I mean, I'm here for it. That was great, like absolutely fantastic. You know how Skaven are kind of like the butt end of the joke when it comes to like bad luck and failed schemes and stuff like that, and boy, that Skaven lived up to all of the memes and stereotypes that one might imagine about failed Skaven schemes. And like I said, I'm here for it. Now it looks like Boris is going to be faced with some Norskins, and it says that they would actually cause him medium casualties, but I mean, I don't expect that we're actually going to take any heavy amount of casualties here, and we'll get to use our little Groms from range, so this ought to be a lot of fun. All right, folks, we are set up for some heavy bear baiting action here. The Norskins have to wait on their reinforcements, and waiting is not really what you want to be doing when faced with a contingent of 5 heavy war sleds bearing down on you. So yes, bad puns intended. I'm going to lure these units away. I do have the ability to slow these oncoming units. I'm going to do so because they've got some quick ones behind me. So I'm going to do my best to slow these units down and keep them from catching my relatively slow sleds. And my objective is to lure all these units into the range of Little Grom, into the warm, loving embrace of Little Grom. Now, they didn't fall for it here, unfortunately, so we're going to have to go back in and give them a second round of bear baiting. Here comes some more skin wolves. These armored skin wolves and skin wolves, very dangerous units, so taking some of their numbers down early very much worked to our favor. They didn't want to take our full bear bait here, so I will give them another round of encouragement here, as far as letting them know that you really should be following the bear sleds, because if you don't, they're just going to wheel up and shoot you in the face, which, of course, doesn't feel very good. But of course, you know, I don't really care what it feels like, obviously. Let's see, so we are ready with our next spell. It only takes 3 magic, which is good. We don't really have a huge reserve here. In fact, it's a very small reserve. So we'll try and save our magic just for slowing. We do technically have a Heart of Winter, but I doubt we ever really get enough magic to use it here. Wow, these guys are really patiently waiting for those reinforcements, and it is costing them big time. Those armored skin wolves are getting hosed. Some good old rifle fire from the back of the sleds. I am gonna flee away from this just a little bit. Ooh, those skin wolves just took another faceful. I'm gonna turn around with Boris. They don't really have enough units here, so I'm gonna save my magic. I'm gonna use Boris to fix that skin wolf for just a moment while I finish shooting it, because they don't have anything close enough to make me pay for that, essentially. So that's why we're able to do that. So another good hit there. So our bear sleds have already mostly ruined 2 units of skin wolves. And then we've beat up a hound, and we might be able to lure in that manticore. The manticore would be a pretty juicy target, actually, because then it can't get into our lines and go after artillery and stuff. So I will actually go try and pop a few shots on the manticore, see if we can get his attention. It is moving out to the far-flung flank here. Coming inside a range of some Marauder horses, but I just need to get some shots at that manticore real quick just to kind of get its attention. There we go. That should do. No, it's not taking the bait yet. Let's give it another volley. The Manticore will sometimes lose control and rampage once it takes enough damage. It's an easy target up in the air like that, and the rampage is likely coming. Oh, they're moving up some Marauder Horsemen on me. That's not ideal. I'm gonna try and dodge a little bit of this incoming javelin fire. Let's give that Manticore another volley here and see if we can tempt. Yep, there it goes. So it's now gonna chase me. Let's take our war sleds and begin running away. And like I said, Little Grom has a good angle here. There's 2 Little Groms, and they're gonna be within range soon. Multiple good targets here for the Groms. Probably want to go for something like Famir Warriors or a Mammoth or something else rather large and easy to hit, I would think. We continue to just lay down the bruising fire off of these heavy sleds. I'm going to kind of just let Little Grom open up on whatever it wants to initially. The Manticore quit berserking, but it's probably going to be berserking. Oh, got hit by Grom right there. If we can put one more shot on it, we might be able to just finish it off. Very close. I don't know if it'll come back from the fight or not, or come back from that or not. Ooh, it was a Grom shot, and it missed. Okay, let's take a look at our Little Groms. I'm gonna turn them on and off fire at will, so they'll go ahead and pick a target within range. We have caused excruciating damage thus far. We do need to save enough ammo for these War Mammoths. Oh yeah, Grom just got a real good hit on those Marauder Horsemen. Not a super high priority target for me, but is an important target. These Norscan Trolls, Famir Warriors actually be an even better target. There's another one over here. Let's just let Grom work those horsemen a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and go do a little bit more harassment over here. Turn fire at will on and off again. Let the cannons pick the closest targets. All right. Here's some more cannon shots coming in. We got a good hit on that Marauder Horseman. I don't know if Grom's almost got range on those Famir Warriors. I'm going to target the Famir Warriors here shortly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull back a little bit with the sleds. I'm going to save their ammo because we are going to get hit by a Mammoth soon enough. And I want to let our cannons do some work here. I've got Famir Warriors targeted with both Groms. I need to put both Groms onto a defensive stance. Okay. I've got my big bears in reserve, and I'm leaving room for Grom to fire unabated into those Famir Warriors. The hits ought to be rather devastating. Here comes the first Mammoth. I'm gonna try and intercept it with Boris and the Bear Riders. It's typically best to kill the Mammoth with missile fire, but this army actually doesn't have a huge amount of missile fire. So I'm gonna use my anti-large units here. Solid hits from the Groms onto those Famir Warriors. There's a second Mammoth inbound. And we're gonna need to spin up some more Bear Riders here because we got some big cats headed to town over here. I'm actually gonna try and back up and try and bring that Mammoth in just a little bit closer. Alright, we got some good damage done with Little Grom. I think I'm gonna turn Grom's attention over here to this other Famir Warrior. Alright, there we go. We've lured the enemies back in closer to our main lines, so I'm not fighting way out front. That'll mean I'll have some infantry here for support as well. I'll take my Tsar Guards. We're getting hit hard by a Marauder Chieftain here. Let's give him some gun attention, and I'm gonna bring the big bears in for a bit of a party. All right, here comes the big bears. Fire off some breath attacks and head into melee. And then I'm going to take the sleds. I'm going to crash into melee with the sleds as well. Whew, one of my bears is getting chewed up pretty good there. Let's pull it out of there. Boris is doing very well, though.
Servant of the bear. Keep yet frozen sun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got him on the run already.
And the war.
Yep. Norsca is in some deep doo-doo here. Pop off the frozen heart of winter there. This mammoth is routing already.
Right hand.
Our bears do heal.
For the motherland.
And that manticore got driven back. Got this war mammoth being pushed out. We killed another war mammoth with Boris. Wow, he tanked that mammoth.
I go.
What a boss. All right, I'm gonna take the heavy war sleds and start the push back against our enemies here. Let's take Little Grum and give those guys some parting gifts. Our bears did a good job. Just kind of coming in and opening up the enemy lines. All right, I will see you all back on the campaign map. I don't know about you all, but the number of bears is feeling good here in Boris' army. That was a gruesome beatdown of the Norskins here. They don't have a whole lot of money. Like, I guess they didn't bring a lot of lunch money with them, which is a little disappointing, but I'll steal it nonetheless and appreciate their donation to the coffers of Kislev. You folks, I know we didn't actually take any new territory, but I felt like that was a good episode in the sense that well, I guess we did take some new territory. We took Karak Doom off of Chaos. We're one turn away from having Mother Estankia's army slightly improved, hopefully. We'll see if it's got a little bit better balance to it. And then I've got Tsarina Katarin, where we'll pick up the next episode going after the lair of the Troll King over here. So I'm in position to attack them, and then Boris is in a good position here for a counter-strike, I think, against Norsca. Or we could just set up yet another ambush here, which would be pretty funny. I think I'll do that, actually. We'll just stick him into another ambush. I need to get a Patriarch into this army so it can replenish faster. But anyway, I will see you all next time with some more action in Total War Warhammer 3. Bear of Carthage, signing out.